if the people that are listening to this have familiarity with the concept of a customer avatar. If you don't have familiarity with it, it's a pretty common practice in marketing where you detail out your dream customer that you're trying to speak to. So it's more than just having some general demographic details of, a 20 to 40-year-old person that likes the outdoors, but really digging in, giving them a name, and giving that specificity so that you're able to really help facilitate a dialogue with the person that you're trying to sell to. But what's also helpful to consider is not just the avatar, but also the different types of shoppers. So you might have different layers of people. So you have the window shoppers that are going to skim the listing so that they know that the product is what they're looking for. And then they'll look at the photos, and then they'll jump down to the reviews, and maybe they're not doing a lot of reading at all. And so you want to make sure that on that level that your listing is doing what it needs to do. But then you also have the people, and unfortunately I fall into this category of the over researcher of literally everything. So even if I'm buying a $15 product, I have this strange compulsion to drive myself crazy and try to optimize the purchase and make sure that I choose the absolute best one. So I'm reading and I'm, really making sure that I understand this product to the best of my abilities. And so you want to make sure that on that level that your listing is also functioning. And so it's sort of this kind of like tiered approach of, is it easy for a quick skim, and can those more casual shoppers or more impulsive buyers get the information they need, and also can we get them excited and eager to purchase and, confident enough that they don't want to click elsewhere? And then can you provide enough level of detail and reassurance and emotional connection so that also the people that are the more thorough shoppers can feel satisfied that they are making the right choice and that they're not just left sort of stewing in their indecision for the rest of their lives.
Over that $15 purchase.
Yeah, I truly, my dad's the same way, so I clearly inherited it from him. But, this is another thing that I think is interesting to consider is that's also why a lot of times I might start on Amazon, but my purchase might actually happen at Target. Mm-hmm. And there is something to be said for the ability to go to a store, to interact directly with the product, or even to just have fewer options. And so obviously you can't replicate that on Amazon. Like, you can't eliminate a bunch of other competitors, though that would be cool. You can, by creating a good listing, instill enough confidence that people don't feel like they have to click into 20 different listings to weigh their options.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So what are some other ways that you can do that? Because it's, I get it at a high level, but and we've been through this ourselves. It's hard to execute. So what are some things that you found, some tips that have worked across dozens or hundreds of listings to help with this?
So one thing is being really clear about how you fit into the competitive category. So you don't want to create your listing with the mind of just being standalone. You want to look at all of the competitors that you're going to be going head to head against. Or, they might not be the top sellers in that particular category. You might want to get a little bit more niche and specific, especially when you're launching a new product. But you want to be clear about who you're competing against and how you can create contrast between what they're doing and what you're doing. And there are different ways that you can do this. So some can be just putting on your customer hat for a moment, searching the search term that one of the search terms that you're wanting to make sure that you're ranking for, going on to Amazon and saying, if I was a customer and I was shopping for this product, what would my experience be? without, taking my product into consideration, like, of these options, what would I choose and why? Where would I feel most confused? What are kind of the standout things? And what are also the, like, missed opportunities from all of the other competitors that are out there? And so what could those missed opportunities be? There's everything from, like we spoke about, basic specs that are just not being addressed, to maybe less obvious things that without a really strong understanding of the category, you wouldn't know that people care about. And so those types of details you could find in places like reviews from customers, but that might not even be enough. That's where you might want to go off Amazon, and whether it's looking at Facebook groups, Reddit threads, other types of forums and communities, those are fantastic. But one of my favorite things to do is actually to find influencers within that specific category and watch some product reviews and see how they're talking about those. Because their job is to be the expert in this particular category and to be able to, say the good and the bad so that customers or their viewers know what to buy. And so they need to know all of that minutia that the average person wouldn't think about. So the example that I tend to give, just because it's a category that I'm interested in, is the beauty category. And so if you're talking about something like eyeshadow, if you don't know much about eyeshadow, then probably you think the main things that people care about is just like, are the colors true to what they seem like they're going to be? Or maybe are they long lasting? But then there are all these other layers, everything from how the eyeshadows actually perform, like are they blendable, or are they something that is high impact, which means that they're more for a professional level makeup artist because they can be more challenging to use because they pack such a punch. But also, what's the actual experience of dipping a brush into it? Is it something that feels kind of chalky, or as the beauty community likes to describe it, is it more like smooth and buttery? And so that's something that doesn't actually impact the performance of the eyeshadow at all, but it is one of those tactile product experiences that customers come to care about. Even like some companies, they scent the eyeshadows. Clearly that has nothing to do with the utilization of the product, but it's just really creating an experience, or the way the makeup compact clasps, and whether it has a magnetic closure, or like all of those little details people really care about if this is something that they're interested in. And so by being able to go to the experts and understand all of those different levels, first of all, it might give you insight into product design if you're doing this before you're finished manufacturing your product. But then even if you're at the point of creating your listing and you've already had all these things figured out, then you learn kind of the lingo and how to be able to speak to the people that really care about this stuff, so that you're not just kind of saying the more generic, cliched sort of things that you would expect to find about a product like that.